All right, in this video, we are going to focus on just a couple moves to lengthen and strengthen the front, the back, and the front of your thighs and some hip movements. So let's start on your back. And I love every time I'm on my back, I just really like to start with some windshield wipers, little rock side to side, maybe a little reach and stretch, and a reach and stretch. And we can start with, again, just kind of warming up with a little, just a few spinal rolls. So you can press your feet straight down into the earth, curl your pubic bone towards your nose. Inhale here and exhale. Begin to curl your pubic bone and then each vertebra of your spine, one vertebra at a time, up away from the floor. Maybe when you get to the top, you do that nice little push-pull we did. So you reach your knees away from you, pull your pubic bone closer to you, reach your knees, pull your pubic bone, get that nice engagement here. Inhale. And exhale down, roll down one vertebra at a time. See if you can get every single vertebra to touch the ground, having its own little moment. Beautiful. When you land, just relax. And then we're going to do that one more time. So inhaling, exhale, curl your pubic bone towards your nose. Press deep down through the feet into the ground and use that to roll. Actually, you don't need to do that so much here. Sorry, when you're coming up, you can just be easy about it. Don't be crazy. Come on up here. Now you can press your feet down and knees forward, pubic bone curls, knees forward, pubic bone curls. Like get all that engagement back here. Inhale at the top and exhale really carefully and mindfully, like you're laying each vertebra on the ground like a pearl in a pearl necklace. And land on your sacrum and relax. And then just do a few little. Actually, I'm going to sort of semi-straighten my legs and do a few of those windshield wipers, nice and floppy. Okay, so this move, we're going to work on those two directions of the hips, that kind of twisty one and the up and down one. So the feet are going to get close, back up into your constructive rest, and you're just going to curl your pubic bone a little bit towards your nose, press gently into your feet, and lift until you're somewhere half to 3/4 of the way fully up. Your shoulder blades are still well nestled on the earth. And then from here, you're going to press down into your left foot more and more and more. Let that strength gather in your left leg so much that your left foot and leg can lighten up and your right hip just, did I say left? I meant your right leg drops. Right leg lightens and your right hip drops. Yeah, we all know that. And now you've got all this support happening in the left, so the right can relax. And now you're going to press deep into the right foot. And as that strength is gathering, you're letting your left hip just lighten. The left foot lightens, the left hip drops down to the earth. And then we switch back and forth. The right foot gathers more strength, pushes more deeply into the earth. Left hip rises, right hip drops. Now, you can do this in a kind of big range of motion where your hips are really twisting quite a lot. Or that can stay much smaller so that your hips are really only twisting a little bit away from each other. You can also play with this by taking it really, really slow, really, really mindful. Or you can play with speed if you want to start to make that weight switch and relax, like engage and release, engage and release. So it's almost like you're walking. And you can play with it however you like. When you're done, you're going to just press into the feet, lift up, press your knees towards the wall, pubic bone towards your nose, gather up all that strength. Inhale and exhale, roll down. Just do a few little flops. So that was some for the back of the legs and some of those hip directions. And then we're going to come over onto your side. And you can come straight up to standing, or you can kind of just join me in a little bit of hip movement here. I'm just going to kind of stretch, just taking a second here, but I'll swish my hips side to side. Maybe curl the spine, send it back. Maybe do some hip circles, whatever your body says yes to. And then I'm going to send my hips up and back, a little inverted V or downward dog. And walk your hands towards your feet or your feet to your hands. Hang out, soften down. Tuck your tailbone towards the earth and roll up one vertebra at a time. And then you can just inhale up and exhale down. So, last little thing we'll do is what we did at the end of class. So you're going to bring your right foot forward, your left foot back on your toes, heels straight back, and you're on train tracks, so not too narrow on a balance beam. So the right leg is forward, left leg is behind, and you're going to bend your left knee to get your pubic bone underneath your two frontal hip bones. And then from there, you're even going to curl your pubic bone a little more towards your nose. So that's going to get that nice length in the front of your left hip. If you want more strength on that length, you're going to just dip your body down straight to the floor. You get a little bit more length and strength there. You can reach your left arm in that side bend. If it's feeling really good, you can take your right fingertips and reach them around to your left thigh and add a little twist into this. And then inhale, reach your right arm up to meet your left. Exhale, bring your hands down to your hips and maybe even a hand onto your right sit bone as you begin to draw your sit bone back and up, and then find your weight pressing into that right heel. It's like you want to straighten your right leg, but you're not doing it. You're acting as though you are, but you're not doing it. Hands can be on hips or straight behind you, but I want you to keep pressing into that heel and even lift your, like glide your right sit bone just back a smidge and even a little bit up the wall, just a smidge. Find that strong back line. And then we'll sweep under. So we'll tuck, tuck, tuck the sit bones underneath your body again. And then bring your pelvis here. Pull your pubic bone up to your nose. Feel that nice length in the front of the thigh. And maybe you'll even take a little dip down and up. And then we'll just bring the back foot up to meet the front. Shake it out a little bit, and we'll do the other side. So the left leg is in front now. The right leg goes behind on your train tracks. Bend the back right knee until your pubic bone comes underneath your two frontal hip bones. And then even curl your pubic bone a little more towards your nose. Remember, if you want more length, you just go lower. More strength and more length. So if you want to add a little bit to that, you're going to stretch your right arm up to the sky and arc over in a side bend. If you want a little more than that, take your left fingertips to the back of your right thigh and add a little twist as you look, kind of like have your chest look down on the left side of your left thigh. And then I'm going to inhale, bring my left arm up to meet my right. Bring my hands down to my hips and then start to lift my left sit bone up. That'll tip my body forward, straighten my back knee. And now we're staying bent in the left front leg and press deep into your heel, like you're trying to straighten your leg, but you're not doing it. Keep that press. Maybe smidge your, smidge your hip, sit bone a little further back and ever so slightly up the wall behind you. Pause here. Feel that whole back line engage. We're going to inhale and then exhale. Begin to curl your pelvis underneath you. Sit bones drop to the floor. Back knee bends again, and your pubic bone curls up to your nose. Ooh. If you're like me and you start to like tip over, really ground down into the big toe mound of that front foot. Be really conscious about that. When I'm not, I do that. There we go. And then find your length and strength in that whole front of the right thigh. And tip yourself forward and roll yourself back. So take those moves, practice them all together or one at a time. Thank you.